Hello and welcome back to Metropolis. So you'll notice right now I'm not in my survival world, I'm in a creative world, and I've been testing out the villager AI, and I think I have at least what I need to know pretty much figured out. So you can see here we have this sort of stone bunkers, we have one block, and then we have a door, and I think in total there are 20 doors here. So I'll tell you some stats that I need, or some general information that I figured out. So first off, for every 3.5 doors in a village, there's one villager allowed. So when they're breeding or deciding whether or not to breed, they check for the amount of doors in the village. So, and also for them to sleep or to run somewhere during the nighttime or to breed somewhere, it has to be considered a house to them. And what needs to happen is that on one side, there needs to be there needs to be blocks above their head, and on the other side of the door there needs to be just basic sunlight. So, yep, I set this up, and I did manage to get them to breed a little bit, so I think mission accomplished here. So, I'm going to go back into the survival world real quick, and we'll actually get this episode started. And we're back in survival. Okay, so I've gotten a bit done since last time, so I have a bit more food now. I went caving again, so I have a bit more coal and iron. I set up my furnaces a little bit differently. I have some bricks now, which will come in handy later on. And also one last thing is what I've been intentionally facing away from over here. So I decided to start testing out building styles. And I wanted to do it in the village just because it's a pretty small house. And so I managed to make it so that it does count as a house to villagers, because you can see this guy's in here. And some will rush in here at night, so I'm assuming this is considered a house. I don't have any 100% proof. But yeah, it's pretty simple. I'm not going to be able to do much interesting with the early colonial style, because it's pretty basic. They didn't have much to work with, and neither do I really at this point. So just a simple stone house. I have 2 doors here just so I can maximize the number of doors in the village if I want to get a bigger population later. And a little fireplace just to make things look nice. And yeah, so in this episode I will be probably tearing down most of this and then rebuilding it. So I'm going to try to use this style as much as possible, because I like it a bit better than this style. And I want to maximize the number of doors to see if I can get any breeding started. So I'm going to start tearing down a lot of these. I'm pretty much going to tear down everything that is in that house that I'm currently residing in, and I'll tear down that later. And then once I'm done tearing down the houses, I'll probably tear down the paths as well, probably tear down the farms, even though I've been sort of relying on them for some food. And then I'm going to start laying things out again. So I'll get most of that done, I think, and then I'll return. And we're back. So yeah, I spent the past 15 minutes or so just getting rid of everything around here. So the houses over there are gone, and I got rid of the farms, which gave me a lot of wood, and as well as some dirt and plenty of food to last me a while. So all the villagers are now just sort of wandering around doing nothing because they have no homes, no jobs, and life's pretty depressing for them at the moment, but I'm going to fix that over the course of this episode. So the way I want to lay out the city is, first of all, to be easy to manage and expandable. So I want to have sort of a grid style of road. I also want to give it so that every building has a purpose. So that's going to be a theme that I'm actually going to carry throughout the series, is I want every building to have a purpose. So this is going to get a bit difficult for just filling up room, but by purpose, the purpose can be like just residential housing, or to display Art Deco architecture, but I want everything to, I don't want to build something just to have it there, because that sort of leads to poor design, and I don't want poor design. So as you see, as the sun sets, all the villagers are going to rush into their respective one of the 2 houses. So you can see that my house is managing to get some people in it. Yeah, I think everybody's inside now. So we have 3 in this house, which means we should have 4 in this one. Yep. So there's 7 total villagers in this village, which means that you would need 24.5 doors for, well, just to support this number. So which means that you need, let me do the math, 28 doors to get another villager here. So I'm going to try doing that. But first we have to terraform a little bit by Delandscaping. So if you haven't seen my How to Build a Guide Chapter 3, which is about landscaping, it talks about Delandscaping, I suggest you go watch it now because it's pretty useful. And it's going to explain some of the things I might be using over time. Is that right? 1, 2, 3. Yep. So what I'm going to do is I want to make this. Delandscaping is particularly useful for cities because it just gives you a flat area. And for this particular build, I might not undo it at all, just because I want a nice flat area to build on. So what I'm going to do is there's probably going to be 3 levels. So there's going to be this upper level, which is going to be this part. And it's going to go this way. So everything past this line is going to be at this Y level. Everything from here to, let's say, maybe here is going to be on this Y level, and then everything past there is going to be on here. So this is going to make it easier just for laying things out. And since it's a pretty boring task, and I might even have to grind for dirt about halfway through it, I'm going to do this all off camera as well. But I'll be back and I'm going to start laying out the grid city itself. Okay, and we are finally back. So that took a bit longer than I expected, as most terraforming things end up doing. So yeah, here is the new landscape. It's a lot cleaner. I wasn't able to completely do it vertically because of the way that it was contoured before. So it looks a bit weird right now, but once I tear down this wall, whenever I get around to doing that, it should look a little bit better. So we still have our 2 houses, and I'm going to start laying out the streets now. So I have a bunch of gravel from the roads I dug up before, so 3.5 stacks. But I'm not going to use gravel to mark it up, actually. I'm going to use cobble. So yeah, so what we're going to have is two wide roads like this, and then we're going to have a little bit of cobble along the sides just for a sidewalk, which will also come in handy when we're laying out the city later on. So if I just place some cobblestone every once in a while. Okay. So when we get here, we want to turn. So we're going to do that. So basically we need to figure out how wide these houses are going to be, so I know where to put the roads. So I think this will just extend to the wall for now, and that will obviously extend later. So this row is probably going to be just all residential housing, as started with this. So, and that's going to sort of come along here, and then last house. Actually, it's probably going to be last house. There will be some stuff around here. Rows are going to do that, and then eventually turn into there. So we're going to have some housing here as well. So basically the way this is going to be structured is that the less important things are going to be lower down. So housing is going to be in this ring around the edge, and then we're going to have maybe blacksmiths, maybe some shops in this area, and then if we have like a town hall or like a mayor's house, it's going to be on this highest part. So yeah, if each of these, I'm just sort of figuring this out in my head on camera as well. So if each of these, I want to think, yeah, I think I'm going to have 2 buildings back to back, and so that would be 16 blocks, because this is 8. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. So how many do we have here already? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh, I ran out of cobble. 16. And then we'd have another road here. Yeah, so I'm just going to do that. I'm almost about to run out of steak, so I'm going to have to start up the farms as well. Or else go out for another killing spree, but I think farms would be a bit more efficient. Okay, so that road comes along. Also here we got a sidewalk, and then we have a road. Okay. And that will also come all the way down here, and then eventually extend off into the distance. So this is how I'm going to go about laying out the roads. I'm not sure how much building we're going to get done today. I might try to start by building the blacksmiths just so I have a place to put furnaces in the future. Yes, we're going to... should we have another road here? Yeah, I'll put it just for some structure. So we're going to have... Actually, probably going to go for these 2 blocks here. Okay, I'm just going to put that there. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, we'll just tear down this building and resize it. I'll tear down this area as well, just so it doesn't become confusing. And, yeah. Oh, yeah, so I'm just gonna... Okay. Minecraft loves making atmospheric noises, apparently. So I'm just gonna keep doing this, and then I'm actually probably gonna start filling in the roads, and then I'll be right back. And we're back. So I decided to just go and fill in pretty much all the paths here. So this is what it looks like. Some of these areas are going to be a bit interesting to build in, like this in particular. But most of it's pretty good, I think. And it's going to be a lot easier once I tear down these walls and expand a bit. So to finish up the episode, I think we should build our first real building, and this will be the blacksmith. So I've laid out a basic frame. It's probably going to end up being a bit different than this once I actually end up building it, but this is just a 8 by 5 by 5 rectangle, and yep, we're going to build a blacksmith in it. So right now, a villager and a cow are socializing inside. Well, hopefully we'll be able to get rid of them. So I don't have a particular design in mind. All I know is that I just want to use cobblestone and stone bricks, because I like that combo. So the blacksmith is going to be the place where I keep all the furnaces and all that fun stuff. And yeah, not much to it. Okay, thank you for getting out of there. So right now I'm still on the same snapshot I was last time, even though snapshot 14W25A has been released, but that snapshot was particularly buggy and contained some things that I'm not sure it would be safe to play an actual world with. So I might go to the 25B snapshot when that comes out tomorrow morning, but for now I'm just going to stick to what I have so far. So I think I'll use I'll use this. So this is going to be a pretty small building, but it doesn't need to do much. So I'm thinking having furnaces on these, so that'd be 12 furnaces. For now I'm just going to do this for the ceiling, but I'm probably going to either point that or something. Okay, so this is just a basic outline. I'm thinking of having some cobblestone walls in those little holes. Okay, so I wanted 12 furnaces. I have 4 so far, so I'm going to have to make 8 more furnaces, which is exactly a stack. How convenient. Let's make some cobblestone walls. Okay, and come back over here. So this is going to be pretty tight. Not in the hip way, but the limited amount of space. So we'll do that, put that there. So I'm interested to see if this will count as a villager house. I'm also putting 2 doors in here as well, just because I want as many doors as possible. Okay, Hi. Yes, 6 doors over here. Yeah, luckily you can make 3 doors at once now, and they stack, so it's quite nice. Okay, so we have our 2 doors. What I'm actually going to do on top is I think I'll put chimneys on each side. I'll make some stairs for that real quick. But yeah, as I'm doing that, I think I'll finish up the episode for today. So this is probably going to be one of my more common series, just because, as I said, I enjoy doing this. And but it won't be able to be so common because right now I'm actually quite free in life in general. But later in the summer, I have some stuff going on, and then school happens, and then that sort of takes up a lot of time. But I'll try to pre-record stuff, especially on the weekends. And yeah, so I should be able to release somewhat steady content. So I'm just finishing up these little chimneys. There we go. That took me way too long. But yeah, so I'm gonna finish it up here. So if you liked, then you can leave a like. If you really liked and would like to see more, you can subscribe. Thank you for watching. Make sure to check out the other Arlibru channels, which will, as always, be linked in the description. And until next time, goodbye.